and it defeats the whole philosophy of welfare and support and help. This is pure punishment, pure and simple.
Universal credit is a new scheme that's being brought in to replace several social benefits with one simple payment. The system is slowly making its way around the country, with the full rollout to be completed by December next year. But critics argue that the Social Security programme is failing to deliver, in part because there's a built-in wait of several weeks for people's first payment, and often more.
Why would you roll out a policy at Christmas which will affect 3 million households when financial pressure is at its greatest at Christmas, and when those organisations like FareShare, food banks, etc. are at their busiest, to allow a situation where millions of families at Christmas, many of those working, will have no income in order to buy food at Christmas?
Charlotte Hughes is a social activist living near Manchester where the scheme was piloted. She is one of many campaigners who continues to put pressure on Westminster to pause the rollout of universal credit. But will the 1 week less make any difference?
I know people that have waited from 12 to 18 plus weeks for universal credit to go through. So when they say 5 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, you can effectively double that, because the complications of applying for universal credit are immense and the system isn't working. So it's going to create more and more poverty than we've ever seen before.
The Trussell Trust reports that food bank use is a third higher in areas where universal credit is being rolled out. And with over 50,000 new claims made each month, it means while people wait for money, they're having to turn to food banks, churches and charities to make ends meet. This community hub in Ashton-under-Lyne offers support, a donation-only cafe, a food pantry and an advice centre. The management too are concerned about the impact universal credit has on their community, especially over the festive period.
There's a lot of worry. There's a lot of worry around here with how it will affect people. Obviously Christmas and families is a struggle anyway for your average family with an average income. So for those who are on universal credit and the people now who aren't on universal credit and they know it's coming, they're very worried. They're worried about how that will affect them. And as an agency, we're worried as well. We don't feel prepared as an agency of how we can support people not only through the initial process, but after the award's been made and when things go wrong or when sanctions get put in place. So we're working really hard to be as prepared as possible.
The problem isn't just about the time people have to wait for universal credit to roll out. People are falling behind on their rent, they're falling further into debt, and the new tracking system is only available to those online.
Philip Hammond announcing cuts to universal credit waiting times might be a step forward, but there are other major issues with the scheme.
The people are facing a big cut in the money that they receive when they switch over to universal credit. We've seen lots of mistakes in the structure of it, which means that the admin of it means that people aren't getting the money that they should do. It is an excuse, I think, to cut and make very, very complicated.
So even though waiting times will now be reduced for new claimants, for those wanting to celebrate Christmas, it might be a case of too little, too late. Martin Andrews, RTUK, Ashton-under-Lyne.